Hello, my name is Andrew. Welcome to my channel, Ginger Camper, where today I want to talk a little bit about traveling around Europe, staying in campsites, and how to make it a little bit cheaper. So stay tuned. Okay, so if we're traveling around Europe and want to save a little bit of money on campsites, there's the obvious way of doing it, and that is the ACSI or ACSI Camping Card here. This one is basically a subscription that you purchase. It's a 1-year subscription, and it gives you a discount, really good discounts as well, actually, on your stay in a campsite. So one thing about the camping card books is that when you open it up, you get a list of all the different campsites, all categorized into different countries, then recategorized into the areas. So you can quite easily find a campsite in the location that you're going to be staying. It's really easy. You get a small summary of the campsite, little comment about it. Also, you get information about where it's located, a small mini map so you can orientate yourself as well, along with a couple of photographs so you get an idea of what the place is like. And it also tells you the price, straight up tells you the price, the fixed price of what you are going to pay, which is really handy, because then it takes the guesswork out of how much is it going to cost for my trip this weekend to such and such a place. My local campsite, which I do go to quite often. I enjoy it there. It's really nice, it's peaceful, lovely swimming pools, beautiful place. It's really nice, well located. It's a nice getaway. I like to go there, get away for the weekend. For me to stay there, 2 people, my California, on a plot with electricity, regular price per night is 37 euros. That's quite expensive, but it's really nice campsite. Now, if I was to use the camping card, that will bring it down to 20 euros per night, which is a considerable saving, to be honest, especially if you're going to stay just a few nights here and there, a few nights here and there. That extra money that you're saving, you can spend on beer, wine, dinner, food, whatever, all that type of good stuff. So you do get a considerable discount by using this card. So if you really just use it for a couple of days, a couple of trips, you're going to make your money back quite easily on the discounts you get. Now, if you pull up to a campsite that doesn't accept the camping card, don't worry. I have done it before. I've come up to a campsite that doesn't actually accept the camping card, and I ask them if they accept the camping card. Obviously, they turn around and tell me no, but I'm already there, so they're going to try to give me another incentive to stay there as well. So having the camping card, even though you're going to be staying in a campsite that doesn't accept it, might bag you a little discount, maybe a 10% discount, or a few euros knocked off the price, just because they need the customers. Now, bear in mind that this is used during the off-season. Off-season, I don't mean the middle of winter, doesn't mean that, but it is off-season camping. So in the middle of the summer holidays, obviously you won't be able to use this, but for the rest of the year, it's fantastic. And since I do get away a lot for the weekends, it really is very useful. Okay, so there still is other ways of saving money on your stay in a campsite, even if you don't have a camping card. Now, what I like to do, and the way that I used to do it for many years, is really have a look at how long I'm going to be staying in a campsite and calculate whether or not I'm going to need any of the amenities if they're charged as an extra. And it seems quite obvious, but if you go to a campsite, if you arrive at a campsite and you check the tariff, see the pricing correctly, you might find that in the majority of campsites, especially around Europe, that they're going to charge extra for electricity. So to have an electric hookup, they're going to charge you up to 5, 6, 7, 8 euros extra per day to have an electric hookup. So what does this mean? If I'm going to be going to a campsite just for a weekend, I'm probably going to have my batteries fully charged, because I'm using my van for driving around anyway. So they're going to be fully charged or pretty close. Now, I don't really have that much electrical items in my van. I don't have many appliances. I have I have the factory-fitted compressor fridge, and I run a few chargers. I have a small inverter for running a TV and things like that. So I don't really have many appliances, and I don't really have anything that's going to consume a large amount of power. Now, that being said, I might not need the electricity to start with, so I can quite easily just ask, is it possible to take a plot without the electricity? and I would get a relevant discount, or I don't get charged automatically the extra for having a hookup without even needing it. Also, it's good to note as well that if you're going to be staying just for a night or two, you're going to be staying a short-term stay in a campsite, check that some of the campsites might have a free-for-all kind of commune area. Now, if you're not really interested and you don't really need to have your own private plot, then a commune area, you might be able to stay in the campsite, use all the facilities, stay in a commune area for a much, much smaller price. I have done this. There is inconveniences. Obviously, you don't have your own sort of private space. You don't have an area to expand and put out an awning and things like that. But if you just want to stay in your van and be safe and be comfortable and still have hot showers, maybe use a pool or whatever facilities that the campsite might have, it's also an option. And it can also be extremely cheap as well. So if you have a little bit more freedom and you're willing to stay a little bit longer in a certain area or in one place, then you might find that a lot of the campsites as well will offer quite a substantial discount for staying a longer period of time, especially in the off season. Now, this can be up to 70% discount in some places I've seen. Obviously, this is going to mean you're going to have to stay in the campsite for a month or 2 months or something like that to get such a great discount. But if you're maybe perhaps traveling, you've got 4 nights to spend, and you don't really have a hurry or a time frame to get back, maybe staying 1 extra night could bundle you a bit of a discount and then turn out to be even cheaper than what it was just to stay the 4 nights. So that's also a thing to look out for. Now, obviously, there is other ways you can possibly save money, pre-booking in advance and things like that, but that was basically just a few ways that I like to use and the ways that I like to try to save a few extra euros whilst traveling Europe and staying in campsites. So if there is any other ways and you do have any other ideas, go ahead and leave them in the description box below. And if it's been useful to you, head over and give it a thumbs up. Subscribe as well if you're interested in any other content. On this channel, I do share tips and tricks, how-tos, travel videos, and a few other things as well. So if any of that type of stuff does interest you, then please consider subscribing. And until the next time, see you soon.